Do you want to hear it? I couldn't really tell. I'm not fucking psychic. We send this one out to our good friend Michael Alago. Michael Alago was the only person out of every single record label that said, I will take a chance on this band called White Zombie that everybody fucking hates. Except for him, because we got him so drunk he couldn't tell what we sounded like anymore. But it worked. J5, hit it.
I was a gay record executive. Keep in mind, I love heavy metal. I love the noise. I love the sweat. I love when I go to concerts, it's 99% guys. And then all of a sudden, this important little cassette came across my desk.
You know, I'm so glad that Alago showed up to see us live.
You know, Michael Alago was an outsider in a mainstream kind of environment, and we always considered ourselves to be outsiders in a sort of potentially, you know, mainstream environment. You could argue that we were perfect for each other, you know?
We were part of this worldwide new music thing that was happening. It was coming from England, it was coming from New York, it was coming from Australia. It was exciting.
He was out to make it in the music business, and you knew it. As cute and as sweet and as friendly and as enthusiastic as he was also pretty seriously aggressive.
Because when you're young and you're in a rock band and you go on the road for the first time and you've read Circus Magazine and all your heroes are drug addicts and alcoholics, and so you want to do that too.
When's this going to stop, or when's this guy going to die?
Damn straight. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles live, and we're gonna get down today, huh? God damn. Damn electric, right? Here we go. What's happening, everybody? Excited about today's show. I hope you are too. Everybody around the world. What's up, Ray Hogan? Hope you're well. What's up, Stelios? All right. Jeffrey Steiner. I see the whole gang out there. Yo, representing the state of New Jersey, Mr. Lawrence Naroda. All right. Yeah, Dominic. Yeah. Yo, my man, Eric Utch, the assassin. My man. Good. Good to see all our friends out there today. Hey, Peter Spira, what's up? Rugged Entertainment. They will be distributing the film. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. Hey, Chris, how you doing? What's up, David? You know what? I'd like to chat with you some more, but let's bring on this guy.
What's up?
What's up? Aren't you supposed to be working today?
I am supposed to be working today.
Or are you already punched in your home, right?
No. I had some home commitments today. I had to take care of, and it was a perfect excuse because I didn't want to be doing this show like while running to the train. This just is too big. This one's too big for me. I didn't want to be like, oh, gotta go. So
yo, shouting out Jessica Schuler. What's up, Jess? All right. And the whole Schuler household. Some of my beloved friends, of course, her husband, Danny, from Biohazard and Kings Never Die. So that's it. You know what? Let's jump right into it because there's a lot going on today, man.
Oh, yeah.
So let's hey, this is this is the drill for today, by the way. We're going to bring Alago on, usual, about a quarter after. We're going to bring Sean on after that, a couple minutes. We're going to talk to Sean about at the top of the hour. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back. We're going to bring Philip Anselmo on. So nobody don't get all crazy. That's how it's going down here. So that said, yo, Timothy Reitzel, what's up, buddy? A rare weekday off for a show. I'm most excited. Good. You're excited. You're excited. I'm excited. We're excited. Here we go. Photo of the day. Wrong answers only, please. Boom. There you go. What do we got here? Wrong answers only, please.
That is a man with a strong hair game right there.
Yeah, huh? Is it Michael Scandato? Is it? What do we got? Is it Living Color? Is it Vernon Reid? Is it George Floyd? Is it Bob Marley? Yo, what's up? What's up, Brady?
Yo.
Is it Medusa?
Actually, you're close.
Is it Michael Scandato? Yes, it's me. Is it the shapeshifter, Michael Scandato?
Mike, you look so different in person. I don't know what it is.
God. Is it Rocky George without his pirate hat on? Is it the Bad Brains? Is it George Clinton? Okay. Yep. Is it Max Cavalera after vacation? Is it Peter Tosh? Peter Tosh is dead, bro.
Wasn't he killed in a home invasion?
I think so.
I believe he was.
Peter Tosh was a pretty radical dude. If you know his history, Let's look at another shot from this very same. Let me see what else. Oh, wow. Okay. Here's another shot. Boom. Is this a guy sticking out his tongue? Is it? Yep. Who? Yep. Yeah. Let's see.
He looks sinister.
Yeah. You know what? Let's do one more. Let's get some. Is it Frank Mullen? Is it Lee Ving? Is it Uncle Fester? That's like a great, when you think about how they came up with the name for Uncle Fester, like Fester. Like,
Fester.
We need a name for the uncle. What should the uncle's name be? Like, Fester. Uncle Fester. Like, it's kind of great,
And ever since then, anybody who shaves their head is immediately called Uncle Fester.
Right. Okay, here's another one. Right answers only, please. Here we go. Here's another one. Right answers only, please.
Me?
No, hold on, we'll see. Is it a young Anthony Hopkins? No, that was the last one. Is it Flea? Is it Gene Simmons without his wig? That's good. Right answers only, please, kids. Let's see. Is it Johnny Cash? Is it guy from Suffo? Is it Suffocation? Suffocation. I went to high school with these guys.
Paulie Pork Chops.
Yep. There you go. Is it? All right. There you go. What is it? What is it?
It is. Yes, it is. This is Suffocation. As a matter of fact, this is some classic Long Island death metal right here. And if we're doing Long Island, where would I get these pictures? If the year was 2010?
Sundance.
No, 2010.
Oh, the Crazy Donkey.
Yes,
Oh, Christ.
Crazy Donkey in Farmingdale.
Have
And
mercy.
This was New Year's Eve, actually.
Oh, right on.
Which I was looking back, I was like, I spent New Year's Eve with Suffocation. And in fact, I believe the show was Suffocation, Skeleton Witch, and Goat Whore. Is that not a night? That's a night right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
In fact, Goat Whore is another New Orleans band. They're fantastic. But yeah, I really like this batch. This was a really cool. These guys, they're pretty legendary on the island of Suffocation. They're, as death metal goes. In fact, Frank the singer retired, and they got a new guy since then.
Oh, he retired?
That's what I believe. He retired from the.
That's kind of like rare in the death metal genre. Like, I'm retiring. Like, I'm going to retire.
You usually when you retire in death metal, it means that like you've sold your soul to Satan.
It's like the mob. It's like nobody really retires from the mob, unless, it's really
blood in, blood out.
Yeah, right. So
I just noticed the last person's comment that you posted there. Their emoji was the Watcher from Marvel Comics. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was awesome.
Hey, where I know you saw that some of these photos got posted. That
I know what you saw. Yes.
Yeah, I went to. I just thought might find this interesting. I watched on Netflix. I watched that Son of Sam miniseries, which was pretty good. Is
that the one Sons of Sam?
Yeah, and it was
that was
really
interesting.
Deep. And they were talking about this park up in Yonkers, this Untermeyer Park, that in the 70s was really decaying and overgrown. And apparently, this is where he and some people practiced some satanic rituals or whatever. I don't know if that's ever been proven or if that's hearsay. But me and the female unit went up there, and it's really pretty awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really there's a whole history to it. Yeah,
did you practice?
Yeah, these guys
rituals?
know that's what it is. 10,000 steps to hell. Yeah, it's is it facts that So here's a couple pictures. We went on a, we sort of went on a urban. The park is. I mean, they're renovating it. Well, they're trying to restore it now. But I mean, look how beautiful this was. Really a beautiful place. In its heyday, must have been staggeringly beautiful.
Oh, look at that! That's gorgeous.
And that was a pool, apparently.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
looks like something from Italy, right there. That's
Whitney. Yeah, Whitney, you're right. The Ultimate Evil was the book that the series was based on. Yeah, for sure. So we thought, hey, we like to go out and do some urban exploring and urban stuff.
Urban discipline.
Maybe it's just urban discipline. But here's a couple, and we're gonna go back in the spring when the fountains are flowing, and but apparently in the 70s it was really grown in and really creepy. And here you go. It definitely has a creepy vibe to it. It's right on the Hudson River. Untermeyer Park, historic landmark. Yeah. So, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Now, was it a landmark before the Berkowitz situation?
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was, and it was really decrepit. In his era. Look how beautiful this is. In his era. Hold on. Come on. Look at that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. And that's it. I just wanted to and then you know what? Not to be morbid, but we were like, because I saw the thing, the miniseries, and they said like, dude lived like literally right on the park. And I was like, I said, where did he live? And we looked it up, and we Wazed it. And I got to say, dudes, this is David Berkowitz's building. Berkowitz didn't live literally right on the park. It was like a bit of a hike. But that's the apartment building that Berkowitz lived in, you know,
with his talking dogs.
Yep. And yeah, here, you know what? I'll break with tradition here. And there's me and my ride or die.
That's a nice picture, right?
You're
there.
right. Me and my ride or die right there, you know. What a trooper, you know. So there you go. All right. Cool.
Awesome.
There you have. You know what I got to mention real quick to everybody? Saturday, April 2nd, Rat Bones has a pop-up show. Yeah.
Look at that.
Hey, you got a pop-up show coming up, right? Huh?
Oh, you're not getting me? You getting me?
Yeah, I'm
What's
getting
up, everybody? I'm
What
mobile, baby. I'm coming in. I had to go out to Prospect Park.
All right. Hey, Rat Bones has a pop-up on Saturday, April 2nd on 26th Street, the park there. So everybody make sure they come through and check it out. So that's the latest in Rat Bones news. Steven, hang out, and we'll see you a little bit later, huh?
Absolutely.
All right. Talk to you.
See you.
Bye. Come on now. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, often imitated, never duplicated. We are sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, the Texas Silver Rush, Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, DTFM Vinyl Distro, 126 Hardcore Clothing, Chacho's Tacos, and since 1992, Generation Records has been a mainstay of the New York area metropolitan music scene. Today, they offer a diverse selection of new and used rock, jazz, indie, hip-hop, punk, hardcore, metal, blues soundtrack, and reggae LPs, as well as T-shirts, posters, and other merchandise. They buy used record collections and music memorabilia and will pay you top dollar for them. House calls made for large collections in the tri-state area. Call or email generationrecords@gmail.com. Follow them on Facebook or on Instagram. Come on now, Debo the Pro and Lee Fairley. New York Hardcore Comics, located right near Undermeyer State Park, where David Berkowitz worshiped Satan. New York Hardcore Comics opened in 2013, selling comic books, punk rock, and hardcore memorabilia, toys, statues, skateboard decks, tapes, vinyl, and all things horror. That's like the magic word of the day, horror. We love helping bands push their demos or new tracks, so please stop by and drop off your new music. We have in-store events like Magic the Gathering and Warhammer tournaments, plus meet and greets with bands and some live performances. Open 7 days a week and shipping worldwide. Find us online through Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and eBay. Located at 117 Main Street in lovely Dobbs Ferry, New York. www.newyorkhardcorecomics.com. Want to mention that there is no show this Sunday because we will be down at the Bowery Electric. If it's free, it's for me. Boom. 24/7 Spies, Ache, Neighborhood Shit, Serial Poets and Iconicide. This Sunday, it's free. The New York Hardcore Chronicles proudly presents the Back to the New York Hardcore Roots music series. Come on down. If it's free, it's for me. Riffs. Yeah, right. So there you go. All the riffs will be there. That said, let's bring on our guest, huh? Make sure everybody's okay. You wonder what kind of music Berkowitz was into? Listen, he was listening, in the late 70s, he was listening to that stuff on the radio like we all were, you know? Yep. Here we go. We clear the deck. What the heck? Let's bring him on. Let's get it on. Today's guest is an American A&R executive and author hailing from Brooklyn, New York. At a young age, he began sneaking out of his house and going downtown to frequent legendary New York clubs CBGB and Max's Kansas City. He formed the Dead Boys fan club as a teenager and soon after became the talent booker at the Ritz nightclub. At age 24, he became an A&R executive that signed Metallica and went on to work with White Zombie, The Misfits, Cyndi Lauper, Nina Simone, John Lydon, and many others. Surviving both substance abuse and AIDS, he came out on the other end clean, sober, and healthy, reinventing himself as a photographer and author. Please welcome here to celebrate the re-release of the film that I directed, Who the Fuck Is That Guy? The Fabulous Journey of Michael Alago, coming at us from lovely Chelsea on the island of Manhattan, my friend and yours, Mr. Michael Alago.
Hi there.
Hi.
Lovely Chelsea. Yes, of course. Here we are.
How's things going?
Things are pretty good. You know, no complaints here. Getting out more than ever. Look forward to a free show on Sunday. Recently, I got to see Kill Switch Engage. I went to see Ghost. So I'm going out again, you know?
I mean, you're one of the few people I know that didn't get COVID.
No, I stayed home for 2 years. And, you know, whenever I did go outside, Drew, I went to the West Side Highway like at 6 in the morning and just had like a really great walk along, you know, West Street over there. And nobody was around. I started shooting a couple of pictures when about a year into the virus called Art in the Time of Coronavirus. And it was at a point in time when everybody had, stay 6 feet away. All right already. But everybody had a mask on. That was the point. And now I'm, you know, just watching a lot of TV, heading outside, taking long walks and living.
Hey, did you see the Son of Sam thing I was talking about?
I had Sons of Sam. I have not seen it yet.
You'd enjoy it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, I know you like all that stuff.
All the gore.
We're watching that. We're watching the what do you call him? The other guy, Richard Ramirez, the
Night Stalker.
Yeah, we're watching that now. Yeah,
that's a good one too.
Yes, you know it's actually it's horrible. This is like the shit you watch before you go to bed. Before you go to bed at night, it's like, why the fuck are we watching this? You know?
Yeah. Well, have you seen You Y-O-U on Netflix?
No.
Oh boy.
Yeah. All right. So hey,
yes.
We're excited. Our film is being re-released.
Man, I'm so excited. Yes.
Yeah, hold on. I got the poster.
On March 25th.
March 25th, right?
That's correct, you know?
Yep.
Great. And here we are once again.
Yep. Yeah. And, you know, we did, listen, I mean, for those, I mean, the film has been out of circulation now for a little bit.
September, hon. Last September.
Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah.
So
it was, I'm sorry, it was on Amazon Prime and Netflix for almost 3 years.
Right.
Who gets the doc for 3 years on those platforms? Well, apparently we did well, and now we're going to get a re-release for all of those people who didn't friggin' watch the damn thing during those 3 years.
Yeah. Well, listen, we were fortunate.
Yes.
We were very fortunate with this film. Like, we didn't have to go out and prostitute ourselves. We didn't have to, you know, do the film festival thing. It's like I showed it to like a couple of people and somebody saw it and said, I love this film. I want to get involved. You know, I want to distribute it. And fortunately, the film got connected with the right people and ended up doing a nice pay-per-view run. It was in theaters a little bit. And then it was on Netflix and Amazon for 3 years. At which point we got the property back, and we just struck another distribution deal, and it will be out on March 25th, which is right around the corner. As far as streaming platforms go, you know, they don't really let you know until it's at the last minute.
Yeah.
But I think it's pretty safe to say, you know, Apple TV, Google Play, you know, that kind of stuff, and hopefully, you know, a bunch of other ones. And thanks, Rich. It's a film that's it's a film that's near and dear to my heart. And James Elliott says it was on a loop. It was on loop on my Netflix.
All right, James. Thank you.
Yeah. Any before we get any memories and looking back, anything you want to say about it?
I don't know, not really. I mean, the memories are that we had great shows in Los Angeles when we had it at that small theater.
Sure.
You know, Glenn Zanzig showed up for it. A lot of our friends.
Oh, you know what? I have a great shot from that. Hold on. I have a great shot from that. Wait,
well, I remember all the showings in Brooklyn and at St. Mark's Theater 80. All the shows were sold out. And that just made me so very happy that people responded to the work and to, you know, the musicians and everyone. Well, there's one of our favorites, Michael DeBars, formerly Silverhead.
We love this guy. He's great. He's great. Michael DeBar is great. He was in Silverhead. He was in Detective. He was in Checkered Past with Clem Burke and Steve Jones, and he was in The Power Station.
Yes, I believe it was when Robert Palmer passed, and he took over.
Yeah, well, Robert Palmer didn't want to tour. He never got involved in that project.
But he also passed.
No, what do you mean passed? He's still
Robert
alive.
Palmer passed on.
Really? I thought Robert Palmer was still
Better
alive.
look it up. I think he died like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago.
Okay, but DeBar joined the Power Station in the 80s. Yes.
Okay.
Michael DeBar did Live Aid with the Power Station.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah. So yes, Ryan. It's from Chiller. It's when we did Chiller, and actually, we've been talking about. Thanks, Chris. Chris, you're like my fact checker on this show now.
Thank you.
He passed away 10 years ago.
Yeah, I thought so.
And by the way, for anybody that likes that kind of thing, me and Alago were talking about doing Chiller again. We had such a good time, and we're looking into doing Chiller again. So there's that part of it. What else do I have? Before we start bringing on some guests, what is going on with this? Boom.
Aha. Well, because of the success of the movie, there were book companies asking me if I had more stories in me. And of course, we couldn't tell every single story in the 77 minutes of the documentary. So I said, yes, I have millions of stories, whether the stories about meeting Bill Graham and him bringing me to see Lynyrd Skynyrd because they were looking for a new label in the 90s, to stuff about my mom, stuff about growing up in Brooklyn, about Patti Smith, all the artists that I worked with, alcoholism, sobriety, which I now have 15 years clean and sober. And so that came out, unfortunately, during the pandemic, but I managed to sell a couple of thousand books and getting great response to it. So it's out there. If you don't want to buy it on Amazon, you could always write to me at Michael Anthony Alago, either on Facebook or Instagram, and I could and you could purchase it for me, and I will sign the book and dedicate it to you. So it's doing okay. I'm happy for that.
I want to shout out our good friend and big show supporter, Mike Gitter, who's actually in the film, who says, stoked this is coming back out. It's a frequent go-to and recommendation anytime I need to explain the role of an A&R guy and how Michael is the epitome of that.
Oh, thank you, Mike.
Mike Gitter was great in the film.
Oh, he's a smart cookie, that one.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Dear friend.
Whitney says, congratulations on your sobriety.
Thank you so much. In October, it'll be 15 years.
I'm coming up on 13 myself.
Yes.
So.
Now, wait. Did we just see Sean Sullivan there, and then we swiped him off real quick?
Oh, there he is. What's up? Sean. Shawnee, what's up? Yeah, good.
Love you, Sean. And, of course, we'll autograph the book. We got to get together. Have a coffee or a tea or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, that said, let's bring on our first guest. You know what? Hold on. Hang with me 1 second. Let me just shout this out 1 second. Hey, I just want to let you know that the next 4 shows coming up a week from today, the infamous Rick Agnew is on the show. Wednesday, March 23rd, Mr. Rick Agnew. Come on. Pop it. Rick Agnew. Then Sunday, March 27th, from Sub-Zero, Madball, Hatebreed, and Scarhead, Mr. Riggs Ross. Wednesday, March 30th, Flora from Ma'afa and the 1865, and another alumni of Who the Fuck Is That Guy is coming up on Wednesday, April 6th, and that is Mr. Joe Sib. Hey, you see that? You see that? I got Joe Sib coming up on the show.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's great.
Another favorite of ours from the film.
Yeah, he was great. So, let's clear the deck and let's bring on our next guest. Here we go. Our next guest is an American musician, photographer, author, and designer. She is known for her work with the bands Star and Dagger, Rock City Morgue, Famous Monsters, and of course, White Zombie. Please welcome, coming at us from the Empire State of New York, Miss Sean Yseult. What's up?
Hey man, how you doing?
I'm good. You're in New York, huh?
Yeah, good to see you guys. I'm in Times Square. Yeah, it's crazy. I just
is it nice? Is it nice for you to come back to New York at this point? Do you? Yeah.
Yeah, I love coming back here. Yeah, all the time. And every time I come here, I call Michael and we go and get tea.
Well, we get more than that. We always go to Tea and Sympathy, the restaurant, the British restaurant on Greenwich Avenue.
Exactly.
And we have lots of tea and lots of good food.
Yeah.
Have you been, Sean? Have you been? I mean, I'm here the whole time, so I see things gradually change. But I know, you live down in Louisiana now. It must be a bit shocking when you come back, and if you go down St. Mark's or down to Avenue B or something, it's like you're seeing things go in like big jumps, man, right?
Yeah, yeah. When I moved here and just going to CBGB's hardcore shows, me and a lot of my friends would just hang out on St. Mark's all the time. It'd just be all punks, and my friends like ran the the record stores and all the stuff. So it's so different now. There's no record stores or bookstores or Trash and Vaudeville or anything anymore. But it's things change. What are you gonna do?
Hey, you mentioned going to hardcore shows, and I know that you used to go to a bunch of them. But could you set the table a little bit and tell us? I mean, early on, I mean, when pretty much when Zombie was getting together, but you used to frequent a lot of hardcore shows. Any memories of sort of that scene and stuff?
Oh yeah, it was incredible. I went every Sunday. It was the only thing I could afford. It was $3. You could get like 5 bands, and I'd go every Sunday from like the day I moved here, And I was actually, Rob and I were going to the same hardcore shows, but we met at Parsons. We're both, we're an art school band, really. Right. But the bands we liked were hardcore bands, and anyway, yeah, I saw Reagan Youth a million times. I saw Black Flag so many times, so many.
Yeah, there you go.
Bad Brains a million times, even like at their apartment in Brooklyn. We got to see them. So it was good times back then.
How did White Zombie come together early on? Like how did the pieces come together?
Rob and I met, and we both wanted to have bands, and I really liked Birthday Party and the Cramps and stuff like that at the time, and he got into Birthday Party too, and was a little more into the hardcore stuff, and he grew up with a lot of metal. I didn't really grow up with metal, but as soon as I got a bass, I had a guitar at the time because I love Poison Ivy. I wanted to be a guitar player, but I traded in a St. Mark's guitar, traded in the guitar and got a bass, and I started practicing, and yeah, it just kind of came together, the whole Birthday Party thing. We're just like, okay, we got to get some guitarists to make some noise over these bass lines, and, find a drummer, and it just we kind of went through some people at Parsons, and we just kept changing drummers and guitarists a lot until we got settled finally with Ivan and Jay, which is awesome.
I see a lot of these early sort of White Zombie flyers or shows, and you guys, like, it's really sort of, in retrospect, it's interesting to see how you sort of got lumped in or ended up. You were sort of like, I don't want to say an oddball, but like you ended up, I see you on like shows with like hardcore bills and stuff like that. I guess it took a little while to sort of level off, huh?
Yeah, it was, I mean, honestly, Harley walked up to us one day at 2 a.m. We were wheat pasting, White Zombie flyers up on St. Mark's, and he walked up, and we were like, me and Robert just like, oh God, he's gonna kick our ass, And then he walked up and asked if we'd come open up for him at L'Amour's in Brooklyn, and that was our first entry into the metal world. And wow, it was so eye-opening because CBGB's, everybody would stand there with their arms crossed, just like, yeah, show me what you got. Right. Band sucks. And then when we played at L'Amour's, it was incredible. Like everybody started moshing, and there's mosh pit and going nuts, and we're like, wow, this is where we belong. It's great.
Yeah. Oh boy, the comments are coming in fast and furious. Paulie says, first time I saw White Zombie was 91. I guess that was a little later at L'Amour Last Thrash Bash. It was Cro-Mags, Leeway, Biohazard, Repulsion, White Zombie, and more. So yeah.
Yes. Biohazard too. We played a lot with those guys. They were really good to us. Cro-Mags and Biohazard. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, our good friend Rich Zola says, isn't it the 30-year anniversary of White Zombie?
It is. Tomorrow. Tomorrow is it. And actually, for the first time in decades, thank you, Michael. For the first time in decades, me, Ivan, and Jay all got together and spoke with Frank Godla, who runs Metal Injection, and it's going to air tomorrow at 3 o'clock. So that'll be on YouTube also.
Wow. 30 years.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
Time.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I got to shout out Stefan Adika.
Hey, Stefan.
Yeah.
See you here.
What's
Thank
up,
you.
Stefan? What did I? So, Alago, how did White Zombie come into your orbit?
Oh boy, here we go, Sean. We both have a dear friend in New York City named Daniel Ray. Daniel Ray was in the Masters of Reality. He wrote and produced for the Ramones and Iggy, and he was in a very early band that I signed called Shrapnel from Red Bank, New Jersey. Daniel is extraordinary. I know
New Jersey's answer to the Ramones, right?
Kind of, sort of, a little bit, maybe. So I know Daniel now 41 years. He's a great, great person. We never had a bad word. Same thing with John Lydon. 41 years, never had a bad word. Daniel was shopping some bands to record labels. He was shopping Circus of Power, Raging Slab, and White Zombie. RCA picked up Raging and Circus. Nobody gave a shit about White Zombie. No, they didn't. They didn't give a shit. So I said, Daniel said, but you know, Michael, this is the band you're going to want to sign. So I went to see them with Daniel on Lafayette Street in the East Village under Indochine. It was this little black box, and they were singing in the corner, in the back, in the dark. Maybe the stage was this high from the floor. And I thought to myself, oh my God, I love their energy, but they don't have one song that I can remember. And I thought, I'm going to fix this. So when they were done, I started talking to the band, and Rob had all these dreadlocks, and I just thought, you know, they were so charming and so charismatic. I thought, I got to have these people in my life. And I felt about them how I felt about Metallica. I knew these people were going to make it. So anyway, we talked a lot, and the next thing you know, we're sitting on the floor in my living room with the blender going, making White Russians with ice cream and vodka and Kahlua. And I think that bonded us. So I wound up, I did demos.
Is that the shot from that? Or is that?
No, that's a Shea Alago. That's my house here in my apartment in Chelsea on 17th Street. And I just took a Polaroid of them one night.
I recognize the band. Who are the other two fellas?
Oh, that's Lil Greg in the White Zombie shirt right in the middle. He was our dear friend and one of our first roadies ever.
Right.
And man, the other kid, I can't remember. He lived at Ivan's house though, and he was a roadie and hung out with us.
Got it.
So not long after that, I had there's an artist named Jim Thurwell. He's an Australian artist, and he goes under the name Fetus. You got fetus on your breath. Fetus uber alles. Scraping fetus off the wheel. Jim produced a 5-song demo. It was very, very good. But there was some egos colliding. So Jim wound up not being able to produce the album. We loved what Slayer Records sounded like. So we called up Andy Wallace. And he liked the songs. Andy Wallace wound up producing their album. And I mean, the story can go on forever, but I wound up signing them, I believe, in 91 to Geffen Records. And we started making the record in 92. But there's some good stories attached to that when the time is right in this interview.
Yes. And who produced that record? Daniel? Who produced the record?
Yeah.
That was Andy Wallace.
Andy Wallace.
Got it. Okay.
Right. Yes.
Got it. Straight. And he mixed it?
Yes, I think he did everything.
Yeah.
You happy with that record in retrospect, Sean?
Yes. Very. It's a lot of fun.
It was a blockbuster record, man. And I guess, you know, it's just one of those things where the stars lined up, right, Alago? Great record, good sounding record, great video, MTV, sort of a band that's willing to get out there and work. I mean, you guys went out and worked hard on that record.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I remember, though, you know, this was just, it was a little thing, but anyway, at one point the record stalled at 180,000 units or so. And in every marketing meeting, I was going to say million seller to everyone on staff. So when it stalled, everyone was looking at me with folded arms. Oh, Alago, what are you going to do now? Well, you know, it's a funny thing. We didn't have to do anything because Mike Judge and his two little characters, Beavis and Butthead, decided they were in love with White Zombie. And they started playing the first single on it. Remember now, this is the advent of MTV. MTV is maybe 10 years old now. And they started playing the single like it was going out of style. And that really helped catapult the album to 1 million units. Yay, I love
it. That's a great shot.
So yeah, it was Geffen Records and Beavis and Butthead that helped catapult that record to 1 million plus.
Yeah, I got to give credit also to Ricky Rackman because he would always have us on that the metal show, you know, every weekend. You know, not every
Headbangers Ball.
Headbangers Ball. Thank you,
Ricky Rackman.
Yeah,
you know, Ricky Rackman was really good to Biohazard too. He loved them. Cool. He was a good dude. I got to get him on the show. He really. He genuinely loved this stuff and genuinely pushed it. You know, he wasn't like a bullshit dude. He was
sure.
Ricky Rackman really loved it. You know, where was this, Alago? You remember?
Backstage at some Coliseum show. Is it? Yeah. It was at a big show.
Yeah, you could tell from the cinder block backstage area.
Correct.
This is like the Coliseum.
Right, exactly. And by the way, Drew, I see Ricky Rackman all the time on Twitter, so go reach out.
Yeah. Whitney says, I remember it on Headbangers Ball. Sure.
Cool.
And hey, got to shout out our friend Chris Contos. You know, says,
hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Yep. Thanks.
Yep. And you know what? Let me read this out here from hold on, let me get rid of this. From Mike Gitter. Says,
hello.
Love old school White Zombie, total void worship. Hi, Sean. I still think that you guys all heard the second Void album, never released, and ran with it. Also, Sean still gets respect as part of the no-core scene. She took the pics on the back of COC's Eye for an Eye, and I am still proud to say that my crappy Dag Nasty wannabe band opened for them and Die Kreutzen at the Rat. They came for me.
That's awesome.
Oktoberfile, Die Kreutzen. Love you, Dan.
Yeah.
Can I say something really quick?
Please go.
First, I gotta say hi to Mike Gitter. Mike Gitter was so good to us. Thank you. He gave us lots of press and stuff. He was a good friend, and you know, he was always there for us with White Zombie. And
cool.
I love that he points out. Before I left to move to New York City, the night before I left Raleigh, North Carolina, COC played their first show, and they weren't even called COC. They were called Buckwheat's Army.
Is that right? I never heard that.
And then they opened for Double O, a cool band that was on
from DC on Discord.
Yeah,
with Eric. My friend Eric sang for them. Yeah.
Yeah, they were awesome. So I saw that. I hopped on a plane the next morning. I moved to New York City. The night I got here, some people at the college got together and said the Cramps are playing a secret show tonight at CBGB. So I saw COC the first show, and then I saw the Cramps for the first time in my life the next night in New York. It was amazing. Changed my life. Anyway, sorry. But Mike just reminded me all that.
In doing my homework, is that right? Did you play bass with the Cramps for a tour?
I did.
Wow. Tell us about that.
That's it's crazy, you know. I mean, they're my idols, and they asked me to join the band once, and I couldn't do it. I was like, you know, they go through a lot of bass players. So I was like, I'm gonna still be friends with them, you know. And then they asked me again. They said, "How about just this one West Coast tour?" And I was like, thank you, yes, yes, please. And it was just amazing getting to hang out with them, being on stage with them. I felt like I was in a dream, you know. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. That's awesome. I got a quick Lux and Poison Ivy story. When I was in Hollywood with Biohazard doing the State of the World record at A&M. We were like a bunch of New York dudes. We were staying at the Oakwood Apartments, carrying on. And you go to the Rock and Roll Ralph's to do your shopping, right? On Sunset Boulevard. You go to the supermarket, Rock and Roll Ralph's. So we're in Rock and Roll Ralph's at like 2. I think it was 24 hours, right? We're in there at like 2 in the morning and like, getting stuff. And I turn the corner and I see coming down the aisle, pushing the cart, Lux and Poison Ivy doing their shopping at 2 in the morning. And I was like, wow, we're in Hollywood.
That's when the ghouls do their shopping.
Yeah, it was like, and they were like, take your look. Is this what? I was like, wow, yeah, this ain't. It's some other shit, Was Lux wild off stage? As far as I could tell, no.
No, right? I mean, it was amazing hanging out with them after the show. They, talk about Man Ray and all kinds of, just crazy stuff, old horror movies. Like, it was very nice. Have a little bottle of wine, a little glass of wine afterwards, and talk.
It's very cool art.
Yeah. That's great. Hey, just veering off a little bit, Sean, could you tell us about this bass here? I love this thing.
Oh, thank you. I got so lucky. Schecter came to me and were like, if you ever want a bass, like any bass at all, we'll make it for you. And I looked at Mike and I was like, yeah, I always wanted a bass shaped like a coffin. And they let me kind of sketch it out and they made it for me. And it's been selling ever since. They've got it on the market. So
is that right?
Yeah. And I've got a couple of good ones. Yeah, I've got that one and I've got a silver glitter one. So
I think I have a shot with the other one, you playing live. Is that this one? Would that be this one? Oh, that one's black.
Still the black one. But
still the black one.
Anyway, you can imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. Want to shout out Paris Mayhew from Cro-Mags and currently Agros. Yes, the St. James Apartments during State of the World address. Remember the earthquake. Absolutely. We were there for the Northridge earthquake, and it was horrifying. If you've ever been through an earthquake, it's really horrifying. So Alago, moving forward, White Zombie kind of really hits a home run, and you were at Geffen through the next record as well?
No, it's such a long story, but to make it a short story, I was at Elektra. I left because of money. I went to Geffen. I made a Kane Roberts record and I made a White Zombie record. And then I really wasn't loving it there because I lived in New York and I was not in their home. I was in the satellite office. And after a while, that just doesn't work. So I called Bob Krasnow up again at Elektra and I said, can I come back? And, all these big wigs, they know about money. I did nothing like horrific that they wouldn't bring me back. So Bob brought me back. Bob didn't tell me that he was leaving Elektra to go elsewhere. So after about a year or two, I called Ed Rosenblatt at Geffen. I said, Ed, can I come back? And he said, sure. So that's 20 years right there. Elektra, Geffen. But I was only there for the complete marketing and promotion of the first White Zombie record.
Which is what really mattered. That was a good start.
That's what I say.
Yeah, absolutely. Ray Hogan asks, Michael, did you discover better bands at L'Amour or CBGB's?
Oh, I don't think
that's a valid question.
Hey, Ray, how are you? Not that I didn't think I discovered any bands at L'Amour or CBGB's, but I always had the best time at both places. At L'Amour, I used to walk there underneath Utrecht Avenue, 7 blocks from my house to the place, sober. Came back falling down drunk. That we lived, my mom and sister lived in a railroad apartment, and my mother would just pick me up and drag me to my bedroom if I vomited or if I didn't throw up, and just deposit me in my bed till the next morning. So there was no discovery there, just a good time. CBGB I lived at from 1975 till they closed their doors in October 15th, 2006. And man, I saw everybody there. You know, I saw Blondie with Fripp. I saw the Dead Boys, The Damned, Deaf School, Bad Brains, Cro-Mags. I mean, I lived at CBGB. So there was no discovering, just having a good time. Thanks, Ray.
And which, you know, all that other stuff is cool. Yeah, signing Metallica. I mean, all that stuff is cool, but what really resonates is you were the president of the Dead Boys fan club.
I was about 14 years old.
That's what's up.
And I would love Johnny Blitz, their drummer. And it was the funniest person that I knew back then. And I let them know that I wanted to put a zine together. And this is 1976, 77. So I'm 16 years old, really. And me and my friend Jody Rebello put a zine together, All This and More, named after one of their songs. And
I got it right here. I just found it.
Oh, great. And
hold on. Let's get the visual. Go on.
When we were kids, you know, that's all we wound up doing was putting this zine together. But we attended almost every single Dead Boy show known to man because we loved the band that much. I mean,
is that your address? 5412 New Utrecht Ave, Brooklyn, New York.
That's where I lived. And I took the picture too.
Wow.
Did you ever see Stiv Bators perform, Sean?
No, I wish I had.
Yeah,
I got to New York a little too late.
The bastard son of Iggy Pop. He was really extraordinary. He was a sweetheart. Very, very funny. Yeah, Stiv Bators, rest in peace. We love you.
Well, I want to find a shot of you and Johnny Blitz.
From then or from now?
No. Oh wow, this is a great one. Well, this is a good one. This one's in our film, I believe. Boy, this guy. Oh boy. Here you go. Bam.
Well,
all right.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Girl. Like the one girl I'm sitting on his lap.
Hello, boys.
Hello. So that's me with my Lonely Ladies Marilyn Monroe t-shirt, Blitz and Cheetah. We're at the Tropicana Motel, and there was like a co-bill with them and the Mumps from New York City.
Oh, wow, the Mumps.
The Mumps. Lance Loud. Also another one. God bless them. Rest in peace, Lance Loud. And, you know, Johnny Blitz. He was the coolest. Look at him. Badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. That's awesome.
Wow.
Let's see. Yeah, that's a good one. What else? We got...
You got some video clips, too, I think. I'm not sure.
What? Well, I got this. I got this, which is kind of cool. Hold on. Was it this? If it's not this one, it's the other one.
Where are you going to sit? Or what's
I'm going to sit right here.
A quick talk scene.
So I just wanted to say thank you for doing this. And I think I was all talked out this morning when we were standing in the kitchen, but I love that from 31 years ago, when I signed y'all to Elektra, here we are in 2015, and I guess you call it a 180. We did a 180?
360. Okay,
we did a 360.
We're full circle here.
We're full circle, and that's a beautiful thing, and I love that. And I love that you are better than ever, in every way, here and here. That's my humble opinion. So I love you for it, and I thank you, and rock and roll, and I'm glad you did this for the documentary, my friend.
I'm glad you're in my life.
Absolutely. I guess at the end of all these interviews, I always like to just come back in and thank the artists for doing this, and most of all, y'all mean the most to me of anybody, of course. And I was saying to James, this is almost like a 360, you know, of us knowing each other from '84, and now here we are in 2015, and what a wonderful thing.
Yeah, it's an amazing
Where we are in life.
Yeah.
And that Drew is doing this film, and I love it, and it's exciting, and you're exciting, and, you know, to be at the top of your game 30-odd years later, what a blessing.
Yes, it is a blessing.
Yes.
And it's a blessing that we're all here together.
Absolutely.
Yes,
so,
for
thank
sure.
you, my friend.
Thank you,
okay,
Michael.
love you.
We couldn't have done it without you, bro. You know that.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks,
you.
Drew.
They made you cry, bro.
Yes, come on. I'm a kind of guy.
Those guys love you, man, and that was a really special day.
That was a great day, hon.
It really was. It really special for me too.
Good.
It was really. I got this great one right here where I got me. Here's me and the dude right here. Boom. There you go.
Oh yeah. Oh, fabulous. Great shot.
Yeah,
that's us in San Rafael, California.
In the rehearsal room.
The compound. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love everything behind some of those homemade Metallica murals, posters.
Well, what they did was, whenever they tour, when people make these things, they take them and they bring them back to their rehearsal room.
Yeah. Awesome. Fantastic.
So yeah. So there you go. I need to take a sponsor break and shout out some sponsors. And Sean, if you want to hang out, please hang out a little bit. I mean,
can I hang out just like another 5 or 10 minutes? If
okay. Say hi to Phil. Say hi to Phil, okay. and then we'll cut you loose. All right? Okay. Good. I'll see you in a couple minutes. Let me shout out some sponsors, okay? All right. Alago. All right, here you go. This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, and we are sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, the Texas Silver Rush, Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, DTFM Vinyl Distro, Chacho's Tacos, Generation Records, 126 Hardcore Clothing, and The Organic Grill. It's a vegan restaurant located at the East Village of New York City at 123 First Avenue, featured in New York Magazine, New York Times, and Veg News. The dishes have won numerous awards, including Best Veggie Burger. They make their own cheeses, sausages, and burger patties, and every dish on the menu could be made gluten-free. This year, they're celebrating their 21st anniversary, and they're all about having a great time while enjoying amazing, clean food. They have now fully reopened for business and look forward to seeing you. Get in touch with them. Order some great food at www.theorganicgrill.com. Come on now, 126 Hardcore Clothing. It's a streetwear brand for restless individuals who don't compromise. They are about being positive, spontaneous, and true to yourself. For years, they experimented with several printing methods and materials and collaborated with a large number of designers and illustrators, always giving room for fresh perspectives while retaining the hardcore attitude. Get in touch with them. Ramp up your game. www.126clothing.com. How about the Texas Silver Rush? It's a jewelry design firm and boutique store located in the birthplace of the Texas country music scene in Fredericksburg, Texas. They specialize in working with musicians in all music genres to design and create unique one-off pieces, as well as style them for stage, album covers, promo photos, and social media exposure. Their client list includes Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Greg Rowley, Ringo Starr, and of course, Agnostic Front. During this current pandemic, all information and online sales are being taken. Their Facebook and Instagram page, and of course, www.thetexassilverrush.com. Want to mention the next 4 shows coming up. Come on now, here we go. Next 4 shows coming up. Bim, there it is. Coming up, Sunday, April 10th, Mr. Matt Melnick from Dark Side NYC, Download and Disassociate. Wednesday, April 20th, Doug Karen from Field Day, The Descendants, The Cottonmouth Kings, and Dag Nasty. Sunday, April 24th is the Lemoore Retrospective. All you Brooklyn knuckleheads out there, all you old school Lemorsals. That's what we used to call the girls at Lemoore's. They were Lemorsals. Alex Kane is the guest. And Wednesday, April 27th, Carl Kennedy from The Rods, the in-house Megaforce producer, will be on. I want to mention to you, listen, a lot of people out there ask, how can I support the show? There it is. Whoop, there it is. There's a Patreon page. Come and join Patreon. It's our community within a community. We do special Patreon-only shows, all kinds of material. We go out and do my walking tour. Please support this show on Patreon. There's also a PayPal address there if you want to make a donation. If the Patreon thing is too much for you to wrap your head around, it's PayPal, it's Stone 4124 AOL. I also want to say that we do super chats on the show. So if you have a question for one of our guests and want to do a super chat, that is okay too. So let's clear the deck here. let me bring on our guests, guests, Alago, Sean. Okay, here we go. You ready?
Yep.
Our next guest is an American vocalist hailing from New Orleans, Louisiana. Regarded as one of the greatest frontmen in metal history, he is known for his work with Down, Superjoint, Scour, Phil Anselmo and the Illegals, and of course, the mighty Pantera. He is also the force behind Housecore Records. Please welcome, coming at us from the Pelican State of Louisiana, Mr. Philip Anselmo. Brother!
What's going on?
Hey, man!
Man, I need my glasses. I'm blind.
There he
Mike?
is.
How are you, my friend?
Hey, man, I just wanted to say hi. I'm going to let you guys
okay.
do your thing, but I just want to say hi. I had to come all the way to New York City. I had to leave New Orleans and come all the way to New York City to say hi to Phil.
Hey, Sean, but before you go, wait, I got one last picture for you guys, for you before you go. And which is this? This is all right?
Awesome.
There
I
you
remember
go.
those days. We toured a lot together, man. Such good times.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Hey, Sean, I'll let you go. Thank you so
All
much
right.
for
Take
coming on
care.
the show.
I love you.
I'll talk to you soon. I love you.
Later. Okay.
Bro, what's up?
Up.
What's going on, y'all?
Looking good, man. How's Louisiana?
It's chilly today, man, but it's going to warm up and be beautiful for a couple months here.
Why do they call it the Pelican State?
Well, we have pelicans. It's a state bird. If you
Okay.
drive across the causeway, they fly perfectly along the edge right next to you. It's incredible.
That causeway is Lake Pontchartrain.
Correct.
I remember when we came to your house, we had to go across Lake Pontchartrain, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that. So Alago,
Sorry. Trying to
Alago,
work for you, Drew, and Michael. How you doing,
Yeah.
bud?
I'm good, thank you. I'm feeling good.
Hey, Phil, how did Alago come into your orbit? Do you remember any of that? How'd you get connected with him?
I was going to ask Michael, how the hell, when did we first meet, man?
Well, very long time ago. I don't know. This one of the memories just keeps coming up. We were all at CB's one night, and I think you and I were just tired of being there. So I brought you around the corner to Arturo Vega's loft.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, yes. For all of you who don't know, Arturo Vega was the artist who made the Ramones logo.
Sure.
He was their lighting guy for over 30 years. And he passed away, unfortunately, about 5-6 years ago. But he was extraordinary. If you were leaving CB's late at night, you went around the corner to number 6 East 2nd Street, and you wound up at Arturo's. And I don't know if this is the same night that I brought Philip there. We were all a little toasty. But I also was at CB's. I think I went back to get a few people. And this woman walked up to me, and she said, "Excuse me, ¿tú hablas español?" And I said, "Un poquito nada más." And she said, "My name is Shakira." And I was like, "Of course I know who you are." She said, "¿Dónde está Arturo Vega?" And I said, "Oh, well, come with me. I'll bring you to Arturo's." And all she wanted was a Ramones t-shirt. So I brought her upstairs. I got her a Ramones t-shirt. Now, I don't know if this is officially, it's not officially where Philip and I met, but you know, the brain, sometimes, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, well, it just happened. Hey, Phil, I want to ask you. We're gonna jump around a little bit, and we'll go where the horse leads us. What's happening with Housecore Records these days?
Well, shoot, man. You know, we had a release. This band called Snafu from Detroit, kind of thrashy, kind of hardcore, kind of metal-y. We got coming out. We got the new SYK coming out. Pyramid. Oh, well, that's out. Yeah.
I saw that. I saw the video. The Hollow Mother.
Oh, it's badass, huh?
Yo, it's badass, bro.
It's badass, man.
Yeah, it's good.
We got Spirit in the Room, Flamingo EP coming up, King Parrot, Child Bite, maybe a split with them coming up. And right now we're just fixing up Nosferatu's Lair, which is really the jam studio room over there, and making it all big and fun. And man, you know, there you go.
Yeah, and I talked to Kate. She says, you know, I asked her about any shows you got. You said Down's going out playing a couple shows here in the States and a couple in Europe, apparently. But you know, I know. Are you one of these guys that, like, you know, don't tell me what's going on until 5 minutes before I have to go?
Pretty much, kind of. Yes. So you just put a bunch of paranoia in my head, like, oh no, I've got sick.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to fucking throw you into the abyss.
It's all right.
Hey, you just worked with a friend of mine, a good friend of mine from up here in New York, Eric Utch.
Oh yeah, look at Ooch.
That's the assassin right there, man.
This picture made our heads look 3 times as
big.
Interesting.
You guys look like brothers.
That's what everybody says, but you know,
it's like a cut and paste picture.
Yeah,
it did.
For sure. Any memories of the early White Zombie Pantera stuff? I know. Let me just say that somebody. Hold on. Where did I just see this? Scandato says, I saw White Zombie and Pantera at L'Amour's in Brooklyn in '90 before both bands broke big. Good times. You played with White Zombie a lot, huh?
We did. I thought that was actually '89, though, or maybe even a little earlier. But that's my memory for you. We've known him a long time. Played, like this fella says, Michael. He says we played at L'Amour with him. We did a couple times. Man, we played. Well, what happened was we got signed, and we signed with Concrete Management. And Concrete Management was really 2 guys, Walter O'Brien and Andy Gould.
Yeah.
And shortly after Walter signed us to the management deal, Andy Gould signed White Zombie. So we were always abreast of what was going on in each other's camps and stuff. And then we toured. We toured a whole lot together. I think one time before they were tremendous, and then after they were tremendous. So good stuff.
Yeah.
Really good shows.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, Alan, our friend Alan Robert from Life of Agony says, I love the Alago film, saw the New York City premiere, and hello to Philip. I was honored to illustrate Pantera for the 30th anniversary of Vulgar.
Congratulations, Sarah Allen, and thank you very much for your talent.
Yeah.
Hey, Alan.
Kevin asks, yo, Phil, you doing any more voiceover work? The Chef Death Match cook-off was genius.
Man, I'll do whatever. You know, I'll do voiceover work. Have I done any lately? Nah. I just been laying low, man. Chilling out, recharging the batteries. Just started kayaking again, man. Hitting the bag. Gonna probably get down to hopefully just above the cruiserweight limit, which is heavyweight.
Hey, you know, speaking of cruiserweights and heavyweights, I see you, man. I know you were a big Klitschko guy.
Yeah.
You know, and he's on the news all the time these days, man.
He's in the army.
Well, one of the brothers is the
mayor.
Is the mayor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Vitaly. Yeah. Vitaly Klitschko. And you know, obviously Vladimir was former unified heavyweight champ of the world.
I think he was the last one. Wasn't he the last unified heavyweight champion of the world?
Well, Tyson Fury defeated him for those belts. So
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
But I hate it. I'll be honest. I don't like war. I don't like anyone involved with war. I don't like it. I was raised to hate it. I remember Vietnam, tail end of Vietnam, living with my mom in the French Quarter, and one of my aunts. My aunt had a live-in boyfriend and I don't want to bring this whole thing down, but I saw what Vietnam did to this guy, and I was a little boy, so I asked a zillion questions, and my mom was very candid with me. So no big fan of war. We talk about the Klitschko brothers. I'd rather talk about boxing, man.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Wilder Fury 3, your thoughts?
Great fight. Great
fight.
I worry about Deontay Wilder's health a little bit, and he's never really been able to straighten his shots out. He's always kind of a little wide.
He went.
I don't want to see Deontay get hit anymore like that. He needs to, if he comes back and fights, he needs to take a middle of the road type fight, and then if it, that goes well, because the guy has incredible power.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
But Tyson Fury, I mean, I gotta say, he's a great boxer. He's a great boxer, man.
And
I love his trainer, Sugar Hill. One of the nicest guys you could ever meet in boxing. When I was hanging out with Emmanuel Stewart from Kronk Gym, Sugar Hill is his nephew, I do believe, and he was always around. So he was super cool, very nice to me and mine, and I love Fury's team.
Yeah, Wilder wanted to go out on his shield, and he did in that third fight. He did. I got to give it to him, man. He went out on his shield, and I'm a big fan of his. But Tyson Fury is just an unbelievable, well put together boxer, man.
Fury better keep his brain right for this next fight coming up, because Dillian White from the UK. Only loss on his ledger is to Anthony Joshua, a very different Anthony Joshua. Dillian's going to be pissed. Dillian's going to he's been waiting, 2-3 years for this title shot, man. So Fury better be on his game.
I know we're not gonna turn this into a whole boxing thing, but I got to say, talking about cruiserweight and stuff like that, I was talking to my dad the other day about like Rocky Marciano and the fact that, the guy weighed like 191 pounds.
80.
Yeah. And and that was a heavyweight champ,
Well, size of people, man. We're getting bigger.
Yeah, I got a picture. I got a picture for you here. Here's a shot of Rocky Marciano and my grandfather. Bam.
Wow.
At Grossinger's in 1954.
Look at your grandfather.
He was hard. Yeah.
Man, he's hard.
Yeah. So, old school Jewish gangsters,
Look at the size of that. Love it.
So that said, yeah, Sean, there's our friend Sean Sullivan says Tommy Burns was basically a middleweight who became a heavyweight champion. Yeah.
I used to write for Sean Sullivan over at his magazine. That's the same Sean Sullivan, right?
Yeah, Sean works with DeBella Promotions now. Yeah.
Big Lou.
Yep, Big Lou. Yep. Alago, let's talk about the. Oh wait, you know what, Phil? One more picture that I came across in the archive. Look at this one. You, me, you, and Billy from Biohazard. You recognize the guy to the left?
That's Paul Booth.
Yeah, it's Paul Booth.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yep. And it looks like from the laminate around my neck, that's a Black Sabbath. That's one of those early Black Sabbath reunion. Remember when they would do a reunion show every couple of months? We got to go. It's the last time they're going to play,
It looks like did we open for Black Sabbath that night?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I would think so.
Those are great shows.
Yeah.
If you remember them.
Yep. Any Rejo, any new music, working on any new music, Phil?
I just pretty much had a new studio installed next door, and we're working all kind of bugs out and whatnot. So I tell my guy, Eddie Mapp is his name, my engineer, my main guy,
right?
The heavyweight champ of the studio next door. I tell him, I said, just program some drums, man. Give me some drums. Give me a different drum beat every day, upbeat, downbeat, whatever. Give me something. So I walk in, there's a drum beat, and I'll just pick up any instrument and just go right off the cuff. And it is some of the worst music you could imagine. But I don't know, man. I'm this close, man. I'm this close. I'm feeling something. We'll see what it is. I got a couple options. I just don't know, man. If it's going to be metal, I want to do it old school, man. I've been kind of feeling more Halford lately, man. You know, like the vocal wise, just singing, using my range again. So we'll see. You know, it's got to be right. So
did you grow up in a musical household, Phil? How did music come into your life as a child? Did you grow up in a musical household?
I grew up in the French Quarter.
Oh, wow.
And my mother lived with my aunt, and this tiny little apartment. And I remember the floor shaking with the Beatles and Jimi Hendrix, Led Zeppelin, big in the house. Janis Joplin, huge in the house. So I grew up with that type of music around me. And then there was New Orleans, where everything is really celebrated in music some way or another. Each holiday or whatever you want to. I mean, so much music. So, and so many great artists. So I definitely grew up. I got to say, man, Dr. John was a big deal around my house. So
Gris, right? Yeah.
Man,
yeah.
Well, Gris. Yeah.
Gris, yeah.
Gris. Love you.
That's some New York shit.
Oh, I love it, man. Shit. You said, not epitome, but you said epitome earlier. I love it. Freaking great. So, yeah.
I love Dr. John. I saw Dr. John, come out. He opened up with Iko. He came out and he had the walking stick and he came out. It was like, wow, I saw him at the Capitol Theater in Passaic, New Jersey in like 1980. He was great.
It's weird you say Iko. That man, what a trip.
Yeah.
Anyway, I did some chorus in school. Always did the bass voice. Not baritone, but bass voice. And then, man, I don't know. That's all I can think, really.
At what point did you?
True. Now that is a point. Kate's my wife over here prompting me with some stuff. But
thanks, Kate. I appreciate it.
Kate.
Man, we need some prompting. But
I told her when I spoke to her, I said, "Yo, make sure you're there prompting him."
I mean, it's almost sad. I'll be 54 this year. The kid.
Right.
Anyway,
and you're the youngest one on here right now. Relax.
I know, fellas. I'm sorry. No, I don't mean to rub it in.
No, it's all good. I don't feel like I'm going to be 63 in October, and I am.
Damn.
Yeah.
At what point, Philip? At what point did you sort of move towards music? At what point did you say, "Hey, I wanna," and what did that look like? Were you a singer, a guitar? Like, how did you get into your first musical thing?
I knew what I was going to do the second I knew about doing something. I knew what it was going to be. And I was always the singer. And, I guess we started hanging around heavy metal friends about 12, 13 years old. I remember meeting the only other kid in my neighborhood with an Iron Maiden shirt. I was like, "Hey, you know that band?" He's like, "Yeah, man, I'm a drummer." I said, "Lucky for you. I'm a singer." Let's go. But yeah, his name was Thomas Gramascus, and that was my first garage band, was at his house back in the day. And man, a couple more garages
and you were on your way.
I matured fast. I kind of outgrew my age group, and I ended up playing with all these older dudes. And that's how I got yanked into the club scene. Sing this, and this. You got a great voice. You got a range. Sing this stuff, little kid. So that was me. And so, yeah, I guess, I mean, I quit high school because I was doing 5 nights a week already. And that's back in the day. That was.
And when you say 5 nights a week in sort of that New Orleans circuit, club circuit there, and
a bunch of spots in Louisiana.
Is that right?
Underground spots y'all would not know nothing about.
No, we would not know that.
No, Pierre Port, cut off, Louisiana.
Wow.
Oh my God. Wow. So yeah, I got thrown in tough, man.
Thomas asks, can Phil speak on any hardcore bands that influenced him? Any hardcore bands early on sort of come into your orbit?
1985. Little late in the game, but I'd been to some shows. I'd seen bands before. That's not the point. But it was 1985. I went to see Motorhead, and this band called Agnostic Front was on the bill, and they changed my life. They changed my whole. I wasn't even sure. It was the way they presented themselves. No puff, no bravado. Just, it looked like they went out on stage in the clothes they slept in. And I liked that. I thought it was like, damn, that's the way to do it. And when I can escape all this club stuff with these older fellas jerking me around, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I think, fellas, that's exactly what we did.
Absolutely. Hey, Alago, let's talk about the film. One more for those that are tuning in now. Who the fuck is that guy? The Fabulous Journey of Michael Alago is being re-released on March 25th on multiple streaming platforms. So we're excited about that. It's been a little bit out of circulation for about a year now.
Yes, it's like September, I think.
Yeah, we did 3 years on Netflix and Amazon Prime and had a nice tour of glory. And we're about to come back. And here's a great production shot. Alago, talk about this person that was in the film.
Oh, boy. The lovely, the talented, the gorgeous Drew Stone. No, Cyndi Lauper. Cyndi Lauper is a dear friend. I started seeing her band Blue Angel at the Ritz in 1980. In 1980, we were all very, very young, and I knew she was going to be big. In any event, her manager, Lisa Barbaries, started managing her a couple of years later, and Cyndi knew of my A&R career. I officially left the biz in 2005, working on stuff independently and putting out photography books. So in 2009, Cyndi called and said, you know, I love all the stuff you've worked on. Do you want to work on a dance record with me? I said, sure, why not? So we made a record called Bring You to the Brink. And then 2010, she called me back and she said, Michael, you know, I want to make a blues album. But I've never made a blues album. Have you? You know, in that voice, that Queens, Brooklyn voice of hers, speaking voice. I said, no, Sin, I've never made a blues album either. So we're on an even playing field. So I go up to her place uptown on the Upper West Side. We'd sit in her kitchen, eat Chinese food, and we'd talk about the blues. We would talk about figuring out what songs would work from a woman's point of view. We wound up making a record in Memphis with Scott Bomar, and the record's extraordinary. All the band members were from either Al Green's band or from Isaac Hayes' band. And at one point we were wondering, we were not wondering that, but we were wondering if Cyndi was like, Don't make me beat you. Anyway, we were making this record, and Cyndi at one point, you know, she loved this vocalist named Ann Peebles. And Ann Peebles was famous for a song called I Can't Stand the Rain. And so our producer said she lives right around the corner. So we got her too. We wound up making this extraordinary record. I tell a pretty long story in my book called The chapter is called Memphis Blues. And when we put out the record, we got nominated for a Grammy for Best Contemporary Blues Album. We didn't win the Grammy, but what that signaled to us is that we did friggin' great work together. That's Cyndi Lauper you see in the photograph, and we've stayed friends ever since. And she's an extraordinary artist.
Yeah, and here is the book. If you don't know, now you know. Michael Alago, Breathing Music, Sign of Metallica, and Beating Death.
Sure.
Beating Death. You beat death.
I did twice, but here I am.
Here you are in the game. Kenna asks, who's the coolest musician you have hung out? Oh, that's the Phil. Who's the coolest musician you've hung out with, Phil? That's a good one.
God, so many of them, too many, and that is an unfair question.
It is. But
Mike, admit it. That's unfair.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
I thought it was for Michael, and I was going to say, you better say Phil, right?
I will say,
so,
Shauna brought it earlier, man, but Nick Cave, one time we played this big festival in
Roskilde.
Oh, it was Roskilde Festival.
Thanks, Kate.
Yeah. Anyway,
Kate, would you like to join us on camera?
No, listen.
Sorry.
We played our set. I think Down played. I grabbed a couple T-shirts, watched the end of Nick Cave's set way down the way, went up to him after the show, and I was just, I couldn't talk. I was starstruck, man. He took those down shirt. He took the shirt, took his shirt off, put a down shirt on, hung out. I thought that was pretty damn cool, man. So,
you know, I've never seen Nick Cave, and I see he's playing in my neighborhood. Larry Kelly says I'm going to see Nick meet and greet on Tuesday.
Much love, man.
Mike Marmelejo. I have met Phil several times, and he's always a class act. So down to earth and will make you feel welcomed. That is exactly how I would want one of my heroes to make me feel.
Thank you, Mike.
That's nice, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. What else? Let me see. Yeah, I want to go see. I've never seen Nick Cave. I want to go see him play.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Got to do that, right?
Sonic, man. Powerhouse. What a presence. I mean, what is he, like 6'6"? He's a beast, man. Incredible voice. One of them guys who just keep getting better and better and better and better. One of his last solo albums, of course he's a solo artist now, but one of his last records, he did the majority of the record. I don't know the name of it, but he did the majority of the record in falsetto, which for him, he's done it even back in the birthday party. He sang some falsetto like Jennifer's Veil, songs like that. But incredible talent, great singer, incredible frontman.
Are you listening to anything else these days, Phil? Like off the beaten path, or what's inspiring you?
Cometa, man, Christoph Cometa. He did some soundtrack work back in the 60s and 70s. Been tripping out on this mellow ass guitar player back in the day named Gabor Jabot. Killer vibe, man. And a lot of Ennio Morricone, man.
Once Upon a Time in America.
Well, he's done so much stuff. Ennio Morricone's done so much stuff.
Yeah.
But it's his Italian giallo stuff that I really love. So
wow. You know, we just did a show. The show before this was like a horror film soundtrack show. We were talking about horror film soundtracks and all that, and John Carpenter, and any horror film soundtracks that you love, Phil?
I mean, that's like asking. Okay, my favorite. Well, the first thing that comes to mind would be Keith Emerson's Inferno that he did for Dario Argento. Inferno. Wow. God, what a powerful soundtrack. But then you cannot say Goblin also. Goblin, I mean, anything from Deep Red, Oh man, that's Argento as well. I'm thinking there was a movie called. Oh, that's not Goblin.
You ever see a movie called Sorcerer?
What year?
Sorcerer. It was a remake of the French film Wages of Fear. The guy who directed The Exorcist directed it. It had the soundtrack by Tangerine Dream. It was great.
Oh, I love Tangerine Dream, man.
Yeah.
Tangerine Dream. Been tripping out on them. Last summer, I tripped out on them for a while, man. Every day. But I have not seen that film. But have you seen 1975, between 75 77, House with the Laughing Windows?
I do not know this film.
Pupi Avati, man. Oh my God, man. Incredible giallo. Beautifully shot. Twist ending. Gore. It's got everything, man. It's got everything. Beautiful, too.
Larry Kelly says Morricone. Am I pronouncing that right? Is that how you pronounce it? Morricone?
Well, he spelled it wrong, but it's Morricone, I would say.
Morricone did Corrupt with our friend John Lydon.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, Morricone, he did all the country and western stuff.
Yeah.
Movies.
Tangerine.
Freaking, but he did The Thing as well, though, didn't he?
Yeah, that's how we came to it on the other show. He did, because we were talking about Carpenter, and I said, The Thing is one of my all-time favorite, horror films, and I did not know.
Go ahead. What did you say?
I did not realize that John Carpenter did not do the soundtrack to The Thing.
Me either. And how similar in the feel of that.
Yeah.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Just the bass thumps. Don't.
Yeah, I love that, man.
And it's like,
I love that. I love that
still
film.
Carpenter, but Morricone did it.
Yeah, I love that film.
There was a question. Someone said Tangerine Dream.
Yeah, here it is.
Legend?
Tangerine did the soundtrack to Legend, no?
They did.
Didn't Tangerine Dream what the Harvey Keitel film Fingers? I think they did that, or Thief. No, James Caan Thief. They did. Actually, a little off topic. Somebody just got in touch with me recently, asked if I have any interest in doing a Harvey Keitel documentary. I said, "Yeah, you think? You think?
Fuck yeah,
yeah." I'm the guy for that, for sure. Yeah. Ricky Vargas says Tangerine Dream's 80s era was tops. The Firestarter score, for example.
Yeah, I forgot he did freaking Firestarter too.
Yeah.
Saw that in the theater.
There you go. What else, Alago? What else you got?
What else do we have today?
Yeah.
I don't know. We were going to talk about the film, which we just did. We're happy to have Shauna on for a bit of time and Philip here as well.
Okay. Well, we came. Here's a photo I like. Taken on your porch, Phil.
Wow.
You and me on your porch, bro.
Really?
There you go.
Cool. Talk about cruiserweights.
Yeah. I think you got me by maybe an inch or two, a couple pounds.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know though, man.
Yeah. Well,
Michael, I'm proud of you, buddy. And I love you.
Oh, and I love you too. Yep. One of my favorite people ever. Absolutely. Oh. And you know that. So.
Okay.
I do, Michael. I do. And always a pleasure to see you.
Mm-hmm.
Never a kiss on the cheek, always on the lips.
Boom.
My man.
Hey, Phil, hey, I want to thank you for popping by, man. I know you don't do a lot of this kind of stuff.
I don't.
I love you, bro. I really appreciate it.
Love y'all, man. Drew. Hey, by the way, Drew, I've been watching. I watched when you had Shauna on. I watched a little before that. Great show, man.
Thank you, buddy.
Great setup. Smooth. Yeah. Awesome. Hey, y'all ever want to talk horror? Just, let's shoot the shit. I'll prep a little bit before that so I don't have to keep getting teleprompted over here. So, you know.
I'm a big fan of Kate's, man. She's an awesome gal. She's an awesome gal you have, man. And
I am lucky, Jack. Oh man,
blessed. Yes.
Good for you, man. All right, Phil. I'll be in touch. I'll drop Kate a line soon. I'll talk to you later.
And Phil, I hope to see you sometime in 2022.
Absolutely. Love you, Michael. Love you, man.
I love you too. Big time. Thank you.
We love that guy.
Wait, isn't he fucking terrific? I mean, come on.
Phil's just a great guy, man.
Absolutely. Great show.
You know?
Fabulous. We love both very, very much. Hard workers.
Yeah. And I gotta say that thank Kate, his wife, because
making sure that he got here, even though he was coming just from one room to another. He got here.
She's the engine that drives the machine.
Oh.
Hey, let me take a sponsor break, and we'll come back. If anybody has any questions about the film or for Michael Alago, we'll be back in a couple minutes with Alago. All right? This is the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, and we are sponsored by New York Hardcore Comics, The Organic Grill, the Texas Silver Rush, Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, Chacho's Tacos, Generation Records, 126 Hardcore Clothing, and DTFM Vinyl Distro. It's a vinyl distro record store that specializes in underground music, punk, ska, hardcore, metal, and more. Located in the heart of Fargo, North Dakota's Industrial District, shop in person or online at www.dtfmvinyldistro.com, where the motto is Death to False Metal. Come on now, Chain Reaction Records and Skateboards, located in Lakewood, Colorado, is the Rocky Mountain headquarters for all things punk, hardcore, metal. Established in the year of our Lord, 2014, they have the largest selection of records, CDs, shirts, stickers, patches, and accessories between Chicago and Los Angeles. From the pit to the ditch, they got your back. Get in touch with them at www.chainreactionrecords.com. Last but not least, the Gutierrez brothers, Chacho's Tacos, located in Corpus Christi, Texas. Chacho's Tacos opened the doors in 2001, home of the almighty Chacho's Taco. They cook up an incredible home-style Tex-Mex food, and this month they're celebrating their 20th anniversary. They've been supporting underground music since the beginning, and in their own words, we ain't stopping anytime soon. Touring bands that play Corpus Christi, swing by and get a home-cooked meal at Chacho Tacos. We got you. The underground scene will never die. Please follow us on Facebook or on Instagram. Wanna do the next 4 shows. Here we go. Some of these you may not be aware of. They have not been called to your attention. Sunday, May 1st, Mr. Caves, artist, musician, a graffiti legend, will be on the show. Sunday, May 15th, the Life of Agony Sound of Scars documentary show with director Leigh Brooks, Joey Z, and Alan Robert will be on the show. Wednesday, May 25th, Pete Kohler and his wife, Mei Ling, will be on the show. Of course, Pete from Sick of It All, Mei Ling, who is a working guitar tech. It's going to be a very cool show. And then Sunday, May 29th, the rescheduled Kevin Castle Heights 29th anniversary show. So all that is coming up. Just want to remind you that this Sunday there is no show, but here, let me throw. But this guy is playing. Are you excited?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
You're playing right here. 24/7 Spies, Ache, Neighborhood Shiznit, Serial Poets, starring Stephen Messina and Iconicide. You know? So that's coming up this Sunday.
Iconicide's 33rd anniversary or something like that.
Come on now. Here we go. You know, I'm sorry I didn't pull you on with Phil. You know, he had a time thing, but I know you sent me this great shot of you and him, right?
Ah, there it is.
There it is.
That was a great one.
Where was this? Was this at
that? That was at Revolution.
Chiller?
No, that was at Revolution in Amityville. He was there doing. He wasn't performing, but the illegals were all there doing like a signing and stuff. And we were hanging around in the back, and that was a lot of fun. In fact, speaking of Agnostic Front, when he saw the Agnostic Front shirt, he basically, said the exact told the whole story of how much they meant to him and everything, which was really cool. You know, and
cool.
you know, just one of the legends right there, you know, and it was great show. I'm just, you know, I've been sitting here watching the whole time, and I wish we had like a red button to press that like, hey, let me back in there, you know.
Yeah, I know.
But it was great. I'm so glad that he showed up, and Sean and Michael.
It was a bit Alago. It was really nice that Phil came up on the last. You know, he decided to join the party yesterday.
Well, they never saw my March 3rd email. And when Kate wrote to me this morning, she says, I'm sorry, this just slipped by me. But, you know, he came on last minute, and he's always awesome. You know what I mean? So
He loves you, man.
Definitely is.
Yeah, love him. Absolutely.
Here's another production shot, which is really one of my, you know, this is, I got to say, for me, this is like one of my finest moments right here, man. This is me interviewing Lars from Metallica for the Alago film, and shot by Helena Kusters.
Yeah.
And great shot, man. You know, great shot. So that said, Steven, any questions for Alago?
When are we going to look for street art again, you know?
As soon as you want to go. This
Absolutely.
weekend. Let's go this weekend. Let's go to Bowery. Let's go to Freeman's Alley. Let's go
Freeman's
to
Alley.
Yeah. Let's do it. There's
Absolutely.
great mural, street art up there, worth posting, taking pictures of, etc. Yeah.
He knows where all the good street art is.
That's my
Absolutely.
That's my thing.
Absolutely.
Talk to you in a bit, Steven.
Absolutely.
And get your game face on. You're playing on Sunday.
Shit.
I know. I'll fix my hair. I'll make sure everything's just
Please.
right.
Okay. Are you going on early?
Yeah, the second. They're on second.
You're on second. Okay. And that show starts at 2 p.m.?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. I'll be there.
Yep. Hey, here's a question from our pal. Hold on. Let me get this together. A question for you from RS70. What was the first live show you went to?
June 3rd, 1973, Alice Cooper at Madison Square Garden. It was the last night of the $1 Billion Babies tour. I was 13 years old, and my cousin Carol Ann had a boyfriend that we called Manny the Greek from Astoria. He had 2 tickets. She didn't want to go. She had her period, and she wanted to stay home and listen to Marvin Gaye. So,
oh my.
Shut up. No, it's in the book. So he took me to see Alice Cooper. And Alice Cooper really kind of changed my life. That and AM radio. But AM radio, I listened to all the time as a preteen. But Alice Cooper, I was 13, and that was my first show. Extraordinary.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think my first show was, I was a camp. I was like 13 or 14.
Okay.
And they took us to Tanglewood, Connecticut, to see Jackson Brown.
Doctor My Eyes. Great songwriter.
On the Running on Empty tour.
Ooh, great album. Yeah, he's great, Jackson Brown.
I mean, he was great. That was his moment there, right? I mean,
sure.
You know.
And he was another Geffen artist. He was on
right. That's right.
Asylum Records when David Geffen first started Asylum Records. Sure.
Right, but I think he was managed by David Geffen, you know, years and years before that, of course. I think David Geffen manage Joni Mitchell and like a lot of those artists
that he signed. One of the first artists that he did manage was Laura Nero.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Extraordinary.
Any fond memories of working at Geffen Records?
Fond memories. Well, you know, there were great people there. Like I said, it was a little tough because I don't drive and I wasn't moving to California, and I was always in the New York office, which was a satellite office. But it's just really about the fond memories are about working with Kane Roberts from Alice Cooper's band. We had Desmond Child produce the album when Desmond was hot, and then of course signing White Zombie and making La Sexorcisto, Devil Music Volume 1. So it was more about the artists than the people, but there were great people there, and I love David, and I loved Ed Rosenblatt, our president, and enough said.
What James Hollis says, you are living the dream, Drew. Yes, I am. I'm very fortunate. I wasn't always living the dream, my friend. Like Michael Alago, you know, sometimes life has been a big struggle. And, you know, really, there were very hard times. And I'm very fortunate now that in my later years, I managed to avoid some of the real pitfalls and managed to right my ship and have a really nice life for myself now, and really appreciate people like yourself, James, that support this show and enable me to do something that I really love doing. Right, Michael?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, James.
Yeah. Is your book still in print?
Yeah. My book came out just in during the pandemic, March 2020. It's in print. Let's see. Here's the book. I am Michael Alago, breathing music, signing Metallica, beating death. You can get it on Amazon, but if you want to put $1 in my pocket, you can get a signed copy from me, personalized. So just go to Michael Anthony Alago on Facebook or Michael Anthony Alago on Instagram, and yes, you can get the book. It's a very interesting book. Everything from growing up in Brooklyn, some of my first concerts, Metallica, Patti Smith, Nina Simone, Mom. My mom's in there, sober, not sober, and in the end, living a clean and sober life. And through all the trials and tribulations, from fighting AIDS and drinking, drinking so much and drugging so much. 15 years ago, coming up in October, I've been clean and sober, and it's fantastic because I'm a person who shows up, and I'm a person that, if you ask me to do something, I'm a reliable man these days, and I show up for everyone and everything. And if you need help, ask for help. Don't ever be afraid to ask for help, but sometimes asking for help is the hardest thing one can do. But if you're serious about asking for help and you're struggling, you're going to get the help that you need.
You know, I know that it's one of the things that really drew us together and bonded us through the process of making this film. And definitely, the film's been done a long time, and we're very close friends. I think one of the things that really brought us together was the fact that, you and I, both being after weathering the storm of many years, we're clean and sober. And we had that bond, and we're able, through the course of making this film, making an independent documentary film is a very stressful and traumatic experience. It really is. I mean, it was not easy to make this film.
We did have a hell of a time.
Yeah. But there was, we had each other, and we got through it. And also have to shout out the film's producer, Michael Alex, as well.
Hi, Michael.
Yeah. Yeah. What part of Brooklyn are you from?
Oh, I've lived in, when I lived on Untitled Avenue, that's Borough Park. And then when my mom wanted to move, because she always wanted to move, we just moved about 10 blocks or so up to Bay Ridge. So I was there in Brooklyn until I was 19. And then I moved to 10th Street, between B and C in 1979. It was scary.
Damn.
But I've always been tough. So, I never got screwed with, never got fucked with. And I was in 1979. And then in 1980 is when I started working at the Ritz as the assistant music director.
The neighborhood you grew up in, Brooklyn, initially was primarily a Hasidic neighborhood, correct?
Yes, underneath Church Avenue, it was totally Hasidic Jews. And I don't know how a Hispanic family wound up there, but it was all good. It was all good.
You told me a story once about how to pick up a few bucks, you'd go in and turn on the neighbor's lights and stuff like that?
I guess you'd call it in the Sabbath on Saturday, when the Hasidic, the Orthodox Jews couldn't touch certain things. So I would go, there were certain ladies in the building, they'd have their door open up on Saturday, seeing if I was coming up and down the steps as a 12-year or 13-year-old, and they would call me into the house and ask me, could I shut off the electricity? Can I take this silverware and put it away for them? And, I got like 50 cents or $1. But, that was 1975, 76. And as a 13-year-old, that 50 cents got me a slice of pizza and a Coke.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
Well, this is, what? What made Alago get into the career he had with signing artists? I think you need to see the film, because it really lays it out, or read the book. I think for you, there was a progression. Right? I mean, and not to answer it for you, but I'll answer it a little bit for you. And another reason that drew us together is you're a music fan and you're a music lover. And I tell the story when we do this film screenings and people ask how we connected. You know, I tell a story about, you know, coming to your apartment and telling you that I want to make a documentary about
and you would always see me at Cro-Mag shows.
I'd always see you out, but and we knew each other. I mean, we knew each other. We toured together with the Misfits and the Sub-Zero, and we knew each other. And you showed up for the Boston hardcore film world premiere at the Boston International Film Festival, and I really appreciated that.
Cambridge?
No, is it Cambridge? It was like, what was that theater, Larry Kelly? That the Brattle. Where was the Brattle Theater?
Yeah.
I think it's Harvard Square. I think.
Okay.
But when I came over and we started talking, you just said, I'm a music fan. I'm a music lover, and it really spoke to me. It was in that moment right there that I really connected with you, and you know, because I am too. I'm a music fan and I'm a music lover. And right in that moment, it hit me right between the eyes. It was like, I know who this kid is. This is the kid that I went to public high school with in New York City. I knew right then and there, I can tell the story and I can make this great. Well, and I can't say that about every project I've done.
Thank you. So, Elijah, you know, I was always a fan of music. As a young kid, I would sit on my stoop and listen to my little transistor radio, and all I listened to was 77 WABC. So, you know, they didn't have formats back then like they do now. So I would hear Aretha Franklin, I would hear Grand Funk Railroad, I would hear Creedence, I would hear so many things, and that opened my ears to a lot of diverse music. Sure. After that, you know, I started going to college. I don't know why my mother let me go, but I started going to shows at a very young age. Like I said, I was 13 when I saw Alice Cooper. And all I knew was that music was my life. I had no idea what I was going to do because I didn't play an instrument, but music was my life. In 79, I was in School of Visual Arts for 1 year, and I was taking lunch one day, and I walked down East 11th Street, and there was a gorgeous building there. As you know, or all of us know, as the Webster Hall. Back then, it was called the Ritz, and I saw, it was 1980, and there was a little piece of paper on the wall that said Video Club Opening. So I went inside, I looked around, it was a beautiful Art Deco building. There was a man in the balcony. I always like to call him the Wizard of Oz. His name was, God rest his soul, Jerry Brandt. I didn't know. I would have freaked out if I knew that Jerry was involved with Muhammad Ali, Sam Cooke, brought the Rolling Stones to the United States, discovered Carly Simon. All I knew, he was a dude. He was said, come upstairs, kid. So I went up to his office and we started talking about all kinds of music. The Great American Songbook to what was happening in New York and the New York underground scene in 1980. And he said, I like you. I'm going to give you a job. You're going to open up my mail. You're going to get my lunch. And you're going to answer my phone. I was 19 years old. And I flipped out in a good way. And I thought this was the beginning of my journey in the music business. And it was. And I tell all of that. Is it Eliza, I think? In my book, I Am Michael Alago. So if you want to pick it up, it's a good read. It really is a fun read. It's a sad read. But all y'all need to know, I lived. Yeah. And both of us, we're still living and enjoying the heck out of life.
Chucky Brown, one of our big supporters, singer for Crazy Eddie, asks, Drew, did you and Michael meet in Europe when you were managing Sub-Zero in '96? I believe it was when the Misfits reunited that same year, maybe around the time when Alago signed them to Geffen. Yeah, the answer is I was managing Sub-Zero in, I believe, in '96 into '97. And I was friends, of course, from the old hardcore days. I was friends with Jerry Only and, yep, I was friends with Jerry Only and Doyle and those guys from, because you know, when I joined Antidote, Arthur Googie, who plays on Walk Among Us, was playing drums in Antidote. We rehearsed at Jerry and Doyle's rehearsal space once or twice. I got to know when I was in the High and the Mighty, we played with the Misfits. So I knew Jerry going from way back. So I'm managing this band Sub-Zero, and I hear the Misfits are playing Europe, and they have a new singer. And I reached out to Jerry, and gotta say, I reached out to Jerry, said, I'm managing this band. They have tour support. The label will support them. And God bless him. Jerry just said, just anything for you. Love you, Drew Stone. And Jerry hooked it up. Next thing you know, Sub-Zero's opening up for the Misfits on their first ever European tour. And I go out on the tour, and you take it from there, Alago.
Well, we were. I mean, I don't remember a lot of any of this stuff, Chucky, because I was always drunk with a beer in my hand, and I was.
Here you go. Wait, here you go. Boom. There you go.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Yep. Yeah. Always fighting. Always with a beer in my hand, but a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun, and that was the early days when I had just kind of met Drew. So that
tell the people how you signed the Misfits to Geffen and did that record, and tell us a little bit about that record.
Yeah. I almost spaced out about that. Yeah, I made this record with them called American Psycho, and my friend, once again, I'll bring up Daniel Ray. He was still loving on the Misfits, and so I thought, you know what? It's not the Glenn Danzig Misfits, but I love this band. They're like a pop band, if you ask me. And so I decided to sign them. And Daniel Ray produced the album. And Andy Wallace, as we know from White Zombie and Slayer, he mixed the album. And it did okay. It did okay. They just
I love that record, man.
Fabulous record.
I really do. I listened to it recently. I love that record.
And the artwork is by Basil Gogos.
Of course, yeah.
Famous.
Yep.
Great album. Great album. I don't know if this is the color.
And this picture here is you,
with
the Sub-Zero shirt on, me in the middle, and I forgot this cat's name, who worked for the Misfits, but you see Jerry Only in the background with the hair dryer blowing dry his leather belt, because those guys would get sweat soaking wet every night, and then they just throw it in the bag, and we go to the next show. So he's drying his clothes, his Misfits belt there. But I want to say also, this was the tour that, and I showed this picture. This was the tour that on a dare, I got up and played acoustic, and this ended up going on through the whole tour, where I played acoustic and opened up the Misfits Sub-Zero show. It went over really well, and you know what it is? The punk kids in Europe were really open to all kinds of stuff. They weren't just they were cool. I got out there and played acoustic on a 12-string guitar.
Love it.
And played like some punk stuff and a couple of Dylan thing, and it went over really well. That was inspiring for me, for that to happen. You know, that was really cool, man. You know?
You don't have that picture of me with Sub-Zero, do you?
Which one was that?
It's just me and the guys in Sub-Zero chatting, beer in hand.
I have this one. Hold on. I have this one.
Oh yes, yay! My angel, it's my angel Doyle.
Listen, we love this dude.
Yes. They're on the road right now. They're back on the road. I'm glad.
I saw that.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, we love this guy, man. He's great.
In April, when they play, is it Warsaw in Brooklyn sometime in April? Sure.
Yeah.
And I think also in the next few weeks, Life of Agony is playing somewhere in Brooklyn.
Right.
So we got to go to that as well and support Mina and Alan and the band. And yes, I love Doyle so much.
Hey, do you miss John Joseph delivering you food? How you getting along, Cupcake?
Jason. Well, okay. Well, I know I can feed myself, but it's always such a great pleasure to have John bicycle over rain, sleet, snow, and deliver me some incredible homemade vegan food. He has some books out. You should check out his books. I miss John. You know, I love John. I know John over 30-something years. He moved to Florida, that son of a gun. But he's here right now. He's finishing up some Blood Clot music. I think you're going to put it out for free, perhaps, on Bandcamp. And I might see him tonight for dinner. So you're asking the right question. And Jason, if I see him tonight, I'll take a picture and I'll send it to you. We'll make a little video for you.
Interesting question. Did you ever play in a band?
I did not. Oh God.
No, you did.
Don't
lie. Tell the story.
I played in a band called Multiple Exposure, and I was the vocalist, and my friends were the musicians were from Elmont, New York, and we used to play at weddings and in people's basements, and that only lasted for about 6 months. And, you know, our covers, because remember, it was like the late 70s, we would do stuff like My Sharona and stuff like that. But, you know, after that, it didn't thrill me at all to have to be in a band. I did work and recite my poetry on stage. I opened up for Iggy Pop and lots of other, the dance and the Bush Tetras at CBGB. So I did a couple of readings back then of my work. But no, it was just 6 months, multiple exposure, done. And then, you know, like I said, 19 years old, I got into the music business, and that went on for, yes, Elmont Fireman 718. That went on, my career went on for a good, almost 25 years. Yeah.
Mike, you're inspiration. Mike, you're an inspiration in so many ways. Thank you for being on the show. I'll be ordering your book soon, and I definitely would appreciate an autograph.
Absolutely, Rue. I'm here to give it to you. And thank you for asking. And, you know, I always feel inspired when people like Drew and Lars Ulrich and Chris Jericho ask me to be on their podcast, because it's an opportunity to share about music and life and good times. And always, hopefully, all of us are moving forward. And here's to good life.
Al Baril, our friend from Boston.
Al, yes, of course.
Yeah, SSD Control. How many hours a day does he wear makeup, referring to Doyle? Now, I've seen Doyle go through the process of putting on his makeup. It takes him a long time to put that, right? Like 3 hours.
I don't know about 3, but it's really, he dedicates himself to putting that face on. It's no joke.
Nah, it really... I remember seeing him do it for a couple hours. It takes him. That's why I can't get him on the show, because he just doesn't want to put the makeup on to just come on the show and the whole bit. But it takes him a while, you know.
Sure.
Yeah, and he doesn't like to be photographed, even though we both have photographs with him without makeup on. At some point, he does not want photographs of him without makeup on.
I found a good one of us in the East Village going for Llewellyn's vegan ice cream. And he said, please promise me you won't post that. And of course I didn't post it.
Chucky Brown asks, can you speak on when you brought the Megadeth album Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good to record label executive Bob Krasnow at Elektra Records?
Sure. I had just signed Metallica. I called, I think, Mike Schnapp at Combat, and I said, I need to have this record, Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good. That was like the greatest title I ever heard. I brought it to Bob Krasnow, chairman of Elektra. He looked at the album. He laughed in a good way, like he couldn't believe that there was an album called Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good. I wound up not signing Megadeth, even though I did want to. I just felt that it would be too much for Dave living professionally in the shadow of Metallica. And we all know that that would have happened. So instead, I decided to just stay friends with him and Dave Ellefson, who I adore. And that was it. You know, it's not a complicated or a long story. It's just that's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Let me see. Michael Alago was a class act. I wrote him after I first saw the film, and he always writes back. Oh, that's nice of you.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Are you coming down to this show on hold on, let me put this up one last time and remind everybody that we're doing one of our shows on. Are you coming down to the show on Sunday?
Yes, I told you I was going
to. Are you comfortable going into a room with people?
Sure. Yeah, I'll get there early. I'll get there to see Serial Poets. And wait a minute, I forget, whose band is Ache?
Ake is Ryan Bland's band.
Ryan, we love Ryan. Ryan, I
Yeah.
told you I got to take your portrait. Where did I
Yeah.
just see you? I was out somewhere and I saw Ryan. Where the fuck
Well,
did
listen, you know, a lot of colorful characters come to my shows.
Yes, sir.
So-
yes, I am
so-
going to come to that.
So that said,
So-
let me see.
And
anything
I
else?
gotta get Drew. I gotta get a copy of your book, your latest book.
You don't have one?
Nope. Maybe
I have a couple left here. Try to remind me.
You want a signed
I'll
one?
bring down.
And it's for people who don't know. It's about.
Hold on.
Great
Hey,
yo,
you see everybody, people coming to see your crappy band, bro.
I do see that. Unfortunately, we won't play anything crappy.
Don't suck, bro.
Right on.
Don't
you
suck.
Just be ready.
Don't embarrass me.
I can't wait. I'm very.
No, you don't need you don't need your Vax cards, bro.
That's right.
It's over, Johnny. No more proof of Vax in New York City to get into the bars and the clubs. You do not need the Vax cards anymore. All right? It's wide open, baby.
That's right.
So, come
and
on.
We got something
Come on
special
down
planned.
and breathe on me.
Oh, shit.
We got something special planned for you guys. So.
Oh yeah, it's Ryan's birthday. That's right.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, it's Ryan's birthday. All right, Steven. Anything else?
Nah, this is great. Michael, thank you again. Excellent show.
Oh, good. I love being here.
And you know what? It's funny. I'm going to bring my book because you still got to sign my book.
Oh, bring it on Sunday.
I'll bring it on Sunday for sure.
Do you have a copy of your book, Drew, that you could post on here before we go?
Copy of my book?
Yeah, so people know in case they don't fucking know.
Well, first off, my book is sold out. I got like 5 copies left, and I'm giving you one.
Okay, good.
Unlike your book, my book's sold out.
I'm reading the Vatican Secret Archives.
That's not Drew's book, though.
Yeah, great life advice. Don't suck. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
hi, Amy.
Okay, I'll talk to you in a bit, Steven. Kevin asks, wait, hold on. I got to read this one out. Hold on. 80s, 90s was a different time. Did you have problems with bands because of your homosexuality? Wait a second. You're a homosexual?
It's a long time ago. It's very.
Wait, next you're gonna tell me that Rob Halford's gay.
Rob Halford's gay. Yes. It's a very, I don't know what the right word, Kevin, not funny, but I really didn't. I've always been an honest and open person. I'm fun-loving, and nobody ever took me the wrong way for some strange reason. So, no, it never caused me a problem. The only problem was if I tried to pick you up and you wouldn't come home with me. That's the problem. Yes. So no, Kevin, I appreciate that you asked that, but no, never had problems. Thank God for that. And I've always been an open and honest person. And I think people appreciated that as well. But if I was drunk, watch out.
Biggest straight rock star you ever had sex with? Oh, no, just kidding. We'll save that for another show.
Oh my God. I do remember taking home Gene October from the British punk rock group Chelsea. They were doing a gig at CBGB and we were both plastered. And I said, "You're coming home with me." So I brought him home. I don't remember what happened. I think we fell asleep.
Fell asleep. Yeah. Well, we did so much drugs, we fell asleep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there was definitely no muss, no fuss. We fell asleep.
There you go.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for coming on the show. I love you. You are like family. I am excited about our film being re-released. Let me put the poster up again. Hold on.
Everybody out there, if you're still there with us, it gets re-released March 25th. Soon we will know of all the platforms. And if you follow us on all our social media pages, we will let you know ASAP what platforms it's going to be on next. And we're very
absolutely.
Very.
I want to shout out Peter Spirer and Rugged Entertainment, who is handling the redistribution of this film. Excited that it's getting back out there for everybody.
And just FYI, this is the poster before the final because we didn't spell Cindy's name right. So
Is that right?
Don't use this damn poster.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's okay. We've been using the correct one all along. It's just
You better make sure he's using the right one.
Oh, yes.
You know what? Reach out to oh shit. Reach out to Spyro and be like, yo. And if you're watching, Peter, better make sure you got the right poster, dude.
Why?
Oh God, can you imagine? I don't remember that this happening.
It happened very early on, but I'll send Peter the proper one, high res, with my retouched face.
Thank you, Pavatar.
Oh, hey, darling, gorgeous. How are you? Nice to see you. Yeah,
and
I'm glad you're here.
Thank you so much for watching the show, my old friend.
Yeah.
Rich Zoller, come on, bro.
We love you.
Oh, here he is. Hey, Rich, Peter.
Peter Spyra.
By the way, make sure you have the right poster because Cyndi Lauper's name is spelt wrong on that one. Ugh.
And when I come to LA, I don't give a shit where it is. You're taking me for pancakes. Please.
Oh, you know what's a great film? I like the cartoon series. You know, somebody asked about that, about the animation. And oh, yeah. Sean Sullivan asks, who did the artwork and cartoon segments for the film?
It's all yours.
Yeah. I was inspired at the time. I was watching a lot of documentaries, and I saw some animation. I saw it actually in a Bad Brains documentary called Band in DC, and also another film that absolutely inspired me. I've said this before in interviews, a film called Man on a Wire, about Philippe Petit going across the world. That film incredibly inspired me as a filmmaker. And I saw the use of animation in that. And when we were making the Alago film, I felt like we needed another element to push the narrative along a little bit.
Let's break up talking heads.
To break up the talking heads, but to also be able to graphically illustrate, you know, some of the stuff. And I pitched it to Alago, and he didn't get it. He wasn't sold on it. He didn't like it. And I said, okay, hold on a second. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. And I put an ad on Craigslist.
That's right.
And I got like tons of animators, but almost all the animators were like these new kind of animators, all computer stuff. And there was this one guy who did old school animation, like Bugs Bunny, you know, like the old school animation. And that's what I grew up on. My dad was an animator. That's the stuff I knew. That's the stuff I love. And his name was Tim.
His name is Tim Thompson.
Tim Thompson. Tim Thompson.
THOMSON. Thompson.
Yeah, Thompson.
Thompson.
And he's located in Canada, up in Toronto.
Yeah.
And I reached out to him and started talking to him, and I could tell initially he was like, you know, a little taken aback by our circus, you know, but I sent him stuff and we started working together. And once he got an understanding of who I am and who Alago is and what we're doing, he came on board 100% and did some really, really great work. And it really is a real highlight of the film. The animation is
highlights, and when people are in the theater seeing it, they love the anime. They love the
animation. The animation's great.
The animation's a hoot, and y'all picked out great bits in the film.
Yeah,
animate the story.
Yeah.
So everybody's gonna have to go out and see it again after March 25th, upon its re-release.
Absolutely. Tim Thompson. Yeah. Tim Thompson.
Yes,
that's right.
It's a Peter. Don't spell it like that.
It's Thompson.
THOMSON. Thompson.
That's the executive producer, Peter Spyra, now distributor of this film. So another great show, Drew. Best of luck to both of you with the re-release, inspiring stuff.
Thanks, Sean.
On that note, I love you, man, and I'll see you on Sunday.
Okay, see you then. Thank you, everybody. Love you. Be in touch.
Well, there you have it. Great show. Yeah, you're doing it fast. Great show. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Sunday, there will not be a show. We'll be down at the Bowery Electric. And the big question is, a week from today, is this show going to happen? You know, I'm not holding my breath, but scheduled a week from today, I got to reach out to him, is Rick Agnew. And we'll see what happens here with this one. If anybody's in touch with Rick, tell him not to flake out on the show, you know? So there you go. No, we're not playing Boston yet. Our new old band, Incendiary Device, is gearing up. We're playing New York this summer. We're recording. We're getting some stuff out there. We want to do some local shows and then get the recording out, and then we'll get out and play some shows out of town. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, it was a great show. Rampage Mosh Crew represent this Sunday. Yes, Rich Zoller, Sunday is going to be a banger. Looking forward to seeing 24/7 Spies. Yeah, it's going to be great. Yes, to everybody. Once again, thank you all so much. Thank you for being a part of this. And we will see you. Pavatar, thank you, hon. We will see you on Sunday in person. If not, then, oh, yeah, there's a High and the Mighty show. Come on, I'm hungry, for Christ's sake. Let me go. Let me just say that we are doing a High and the Mighty show on the big High and the Mighty reunion. And we have been rehearsing for this. The big High and the Mighty reunion show. The High and the Mighty show. It's really me at this point. And Zum is playing guitar, Tristan's playing bass, and REA. So it's Rampage Fest 3 on Sunday, April 3rd. The High and the Mighty, Fahrenheit 451 Rebel Matic, Maafa with Sab Gray from Iron Cross, Ape, who have now renamed themselves Crossfire, Scum City, Fright, and apparently Bride Riot has just dropped off the bill. So that said, there you have it. No, the Chronicles don't start an earlier now. The clocks moved back here. Or move forward. The clocks move forward here in New York, man. So nothing's changed. Your world has changed, man. Nothing's changed here in New York. The clocks went an hour forward, that's all. All right. Hey, see you guys soon. Thank you so much. Great show today. Until then, do good things and good things will come to you.